a possible move? I know we got camp in a couple weeks, preseason's less than a month away. Do you think they're going to take a wait and see, or do you see a possibility that, like, maybe a Dennis Schroeder return or something for the bench?
I don't think so. I think that's maybe a move that you make mid-season, to bring in somebody like that. If you think, we need another ball handler, we need somebody off the bench who can play with the ball in his hand. I don't think Aaron Holiday is going to be that. So I could see that coming down the line. I think to start the season, I think they're going to want to get as many reps as possible with Trey or DeJounte on the ball, and they'll just keep the roster that way as is, and then make a move later on down the line if they feel it's necessary. But that's just flinging a guess on the wall.
So you kind of already hit on it a little bit, but with the bench, like they have the Holiday brothers, Aaron Holiday, besides being a decent point of attack defender, a guy who could hit the occasional three and facilitate a little bit. He's not, like you said, the primary backup point guard teams would want. And we know Nate McMillan has a reluctance to play young guys, as we saw Jalen Johnson, Sharif Cooper in the past, year not really play. With AJ Griffin joining and him, a guy who's suffered a lot of injury, do you think like we're going to continue not to see the young guys and they're going to just focus on playing, the Holiday brothers, Onyeka Okongwu, and potentially, I guess, Frank Kaminsky off the bench, I guess would be? Or do you think they're just going to go with a smaller rotation and only go 2 or 3 guys off and go 8-man?
I mean, if he's healthy, Bogdan Bogdanovic is going to get a big chunk of minutes. He could play with Trey, he could play with DeJounte, but he's coming off a knee procedure in the offseason, probably a pretty significant one. It's hard to say, but it was clearly an issue for him through last season. He was dealing with the knee the whole year, and it's hard to say that he's necessarily somebody that you can rely on at this point. You just don't know about his health. So you kind of have to maybe have some contingencies. Is he going to be there? If he's not, if he's there, that's going to be a big part of it. I think you could play Aaron Holiday next to Trey and have him, defend point guards for Trey, and then Trey can play on the ball and they can get some minutes that way. AJ Griffin's interesting. He's just, I think the things working in his favor in terms of getting minutes is that, he's kind of been around high-level basketball, from a young age. So I don't think there's going to be necessarily a huge learning curve, but he also has not had a lot of time on the court this summer. Like, he's been injured. So, just the combination of youth and the fact that he's been hurt, he didn't get to play in Vegas. He's probably not doing a whole lot at this point, I don't think. That makes it hard to project him necessarily being a rotation piece. I think one of the things going in his favor is that he's more of a complementary piece. Like Jalen Johnson, to work, he kind of has to be like a centerpiece. He has to have the ball in his hands. He has to know the offense and function on defense. And he hasn't had a lot of high-level basketball experience through his career. AJ Griffin's going to be more of a complementary player playing off the ball. He probably has enough basketball knowledge to do that, but with the rust and trying to make the leap as a 19-year-old, that's a lot to ask from him. So I would not be shocked if he's playing more games in College Park than he is in Atlanta to start the season.